Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. Now, I've loved video games ever since I was a kid. However, when it comes to current modern day gaming, I'm not the biggest fan of it. And I'll get into the main reasons why a little bit later. But the big piece of news when it comes to gaming concerns Fortnite and its competitor PUBG. So Fortnite has been available on mobile, specifically just for Apple's iOS. I would say in about 90 days. I think it came out in March of 2018. PUBG came out around the same time, but it's also available on Android's platform as well. Now, within 11 weeks of Fortnite Mobile being released on Apple's iOS, it already earned $92 million. And at the time of this video, it's already earned $100 million. And compared to PUBG, within the same 11-week time period, that earned $19 million. Of course, these are like top-tier games. And obviously, this doesn't apply to all games. But just those examples I showed you, with Fortnite Mobile just on Apple's iOS earning $100 million, and then PUBG earning $19 million on both mobile platforms, you could see why the whole idea of modern gaming as we know it exists. Why we have microtransactions. Why you don't get complete games where you get pieces of it. And why people will actually put up with it. Because there's money there, first and foremost. But even before that, people are spending money on these things. And so that is the reality of where we are in modern gaming. And whenever you see numbers like this, it sets precedents for gaming going forward. Okay, so this goes back to my whole love of video gaming and how I really try to avoid modern gaming. Now, I myself, like I said, I've been gaming ever since I was a kid. So the beginning for me was Atari. And then obviously I moved to other platforms like Nintendo, Sega, all the modern systems, and my favorite one, probably of all the home consoles, in my opinion, is Sega Dreamcast. Right here, this is a Street Fighter Third Strike, and some other favorites on here. PlayStation 2, there's Gran Turismo 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Obviously, you could tell I love video games. And then obviously, we moved over to the PC gaming. This is BioShock 2 for Windows platform. And then mobile, of course, Nintendo rules. This is the Nintendo DS. And so, I've loved gaming for a long time now. However, with the whole modern gaming experience, it's not something I enjoy. And it's not because there aren't amazing games out there. There's actually more gaming options available now than there's ever been on every single type of medium you could think of. You know, from our consoles to PCs to mobile platforms, of course. But whenever I play a game nowadays, there's so much that gets in the way of me just playing the games. So I go back to this old model, right? I just plug in the game and I play it. Now, with these new modern games, that's simply not the case. Even if you own a physical game, right? You plug it in, it might still need to connect to the servers. It might need to download updates. It might need to do DRM checks. All of those things, in my opinion, gets in the way of your gaming experience. But just like the example I just showed with Fortnite Mobile and PUBG, those things aren't going to change. I mean, as a matter of fact, my overall opinion is we're going to get more experiences like that. You know, we're going to get more paywalls. And I have talked about this in other videos, where in the future, anything that's internet related, you're probably going to have to pay for. So there's going to be paywalls in everything. Now, the thing is, of course, a lot of people might not like that, especially when they're used to getting things for free. But in the real world, things aren't free. There's costs associated with not only the development, but also continually keeping things up and running with the servers. They have employees, especially these bigger companies, which have thousands, potentially millions of employees. You know, they have a responsibility to those people. And obviously, there is a whole business model around all these things. Okay, so I definitely understand that it won't ever go back to how it used to be. But I'm hoping that maybe some of the best experiences will allow you to go back to just pure gaming. Okay, so a good example of this is the Castlevania Curse of the Moon, which was a download title, but I was just able to play the game, you know, without any of the microtransactions, any of the interruptions, and of course they could always add those in the future. And so I know those aren't common anymore, especially for like AAA titles, and even some of the older retro games where you could download it, there's still going to be some type of microtransactions or additional fees there, or they're tracking you, of course. And so unfortunately, that's a compromise that we have to have. And so with Fortnite Mobile earning so much money, PUBG, and many more games like it, even if you're not a big game studio, if they can produce an additional, few $1,000s for a small indie developer off of providing microtransactions or ads or DLCs, then, they're going to do what it takes to keep their business running, and so I completely understand it. I just hope that the whole modern gaming model, doesn't completely take over. And unfortunately, after seeing the numbers, great successes to the developers and everybody involved, definitely. I don't wish them not to make money. But at the same time, I feel like as more and more games become successful using these models, and obviously companies like EA definitely make a lot of money of it, then that just shows that this is where everything's going to go, period. And so, in a lot of ways, I guess it's kind of a nostalgic thing. It's also maybe a little semi-rant as well. And so in one case, I'm happy that the people who are developing are successful. They're actually able to keep running their business and support all the people that work for them. But in another case, I'm going to miss stuff like this. I'm really going to miss just plugging in a game and playing it, and obviously you could still do the whole emulator thing, retro gaming thing. But even that in the future, I'm afraid that operating systems, or there'll be checks involved where if it sees you running any games that are not in these mediums or a digital format they could actually control, you probably won't even be able to play those anymore in the future as well. And so that is it for my mini thoughts, mini rant on the state of modern gaming, and how that also relates to the business end and also where we're heading, period, when it comes to the gaming industry. And so if you had any thoughts on anything I talked about today, whether it's Fortnite Mobile, whether it's PUBG, or whether it's some of these old school classics, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators Group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators Group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.